All right, well, we're all set up in the tree. Man, it's opening day, and I am just so thrilled to be up in this tree right now. I literally just knocked an arrow, and so it begins the fall season of 2017. Tonight I'm in Strathcona County in central Alberta, and there's a couple whitetails on this property that I would not hesitate to shoot. I mean, nothing major, but there's 2 bucks that are probably 3 years old for sure, and a deer that I'd be happy with given that I have a limited time to hunt whitetails this season. My main effort and energy is going to be spent hunting moose towards the end of September. So outside of that, I've got a young family and busy with work, so I don't know how much time I'm going to have to get out and chase whitetails, but you better believe every chance I can get away, that's what I'm going to be doing. I've got a northwest wind tonight, which is basically blowing across this way. Basically from where I anticipate the deer coming from, it's blowing from them to me, which is perfect. And this spot is about 20 yards just inside the timber, at the break of where a thicket ends and the timber starts, just inside the trees here. And these deer, they have a tendency to walk and travel up and down the transition between the thicket and the timber. So hoping we see one of the bucks that I'm after tonight, and with any luck I'll get it done on opening day, but you know how that goes. I've had this piece of property basically since I moved to Alberta, and it can be really hit or miss with deer hunting because there's no solid food source. It's hard to pattern them as far as where their bedding is, where they're feeding, and trying to catch them in between. It's pasture land, it's rugged, and these deer are just browsing pretty much. The other thing that makes it difficult with this piece of property is that there are cows on it right now. And these cows have a tendency to eat everything they see. They poop everywhere, and they smash trails down everywhere. So as far as finding good solid deer sign, it can be pretty tough. You really have to utilize your trail cameras on a property like this. Okay, back at the truck. It's 5 after 9, and no deer tonight, just cows. I heard cows move in on me right as it was getting dark. So when I was getting out of there, I was bumping cows all over the place, so that was kind of hairy. They don't know what I am walking around in the dark. It's too bad. That's the one thing that sucks about hunting pasture land. I mean, these cows, they move in. I mean, they have a lot of area to be, but when they end up right around you, you can pretty much guarantee that you're not going to shoot a deer that night. Okay, well, it's September 4th. It's 5:30. It's a little bit later than I wanted, but it took me a while to get back in there. It is a kilometer hike. It's September 12th. It's 5:30 in the afternoon. I've got a remote camera just down here. There seems to be a doe and a fawn that seem to be hanging around quite often. And that's really all I've seen on the camera since the big boy was here. My target look. All right, September 15th. Just finished up work for the day. It's 4:30 in the afternoon on a Friday, so I am on my way to the tree stand. The bow season's been open for a couple weeks here in central Alberta, and you know, I feel like I've come close to my target Junkyard, but I just can't seem to connect. I mean, I've only had a handful of sits, and it's early yet, but I tell you, he was on my trail camera steady in the mornings for the first week of the season. I didn't want to hunt a morning this early in the season and risk messing it all up. So I've had a few evening sits, but he's disappeared for the last 5 or 6 days until this morning. He showed back up this morning. So now that he showed back up, I'm just hoping that he bedded close. I'm going to slip in there this evening, and with any luck, when he gets up out of his bed tonight, he'll come cruising down this trail that's in the draw here, staging up and moving out to wherever his nightly location is, and I'll get a crack at him in daylight hours.
that's my plan. That's all I got to work with right now in this early season. Trying to utilize that real-time information from the cellular cameras and dream up a scenario and get out there, put the work in, and hopefully something happens.
This is my 5th hunt for whitetails. I'm set up back over top of this trail. The Junkyard, my target buck, uses. He was actually here this morning at 6 a.m. I got a cell phone picture. And he seems to use this trail more in the mornings than in the afternoon. But I'm not willing to come in here on a morning hunt this early in the season. I just feel like it's too good of an opportunity for me to walk in here on him. He'll bust me, and I tell you, these mature bucks, they don't tolerate too much intrusion. He's just gonna pack his bags and move over and sniff around here, and he's going to basically pattern me if I'm not careful. These mature bucks, once they get onto you, they're really good at avoiding you and staying out of your way, so I need to be really careful as far as that goes. And stick to evenings, even though I really want to come here in the morning and try and put an arrow in them. But a south wind tonight, which is coming from my back and going towards the trail, which I've been hunting this stand on a north wind because I'm afraid if the deer come down the trail, if the wind swirls at all on a south wind, they're going to smell me. So I've been hunting it on a north wind to avoid that. I don't know where the deer are going to come from. Maybe the south wind is the ticket. We will see, hopefully. So I'm set up on the edge of this draw, and this draw is somewhat of a valley in between 2 humps, somewhat like small ridges, and they use this as a low-lying travel route to cruise through here. I'm set up right on the edge as the terrain starts to go up, so even though I'm 20 feet up in the tree, I'm actually higher up than that off of this trail. I'm set up in a spruce tree that provides a lot of backing cover, which I really like. With the camera arm and all my gear, I feel like I have a lot more cover and backing cover in these spruce trees. So I've got basically the trail down below me is 19, 20-yard shot. I've got one 25-yard shot off to the side here, and then another 30-yard shot off the side here. I think before I hunt next, I'm going to sneak in here and trim some more branches because that shot that's over here is very tight, and if it's a little bit lower light, I might not see those twigs, and it could cause me problems. So, other than that, it's a pretty sweet setup. So, with any luck, it works tonight. It caught me off guard. I mean, I could have shot him here at 10 yards if I was ready, but I had to let him walk out. And thank God he turned down the trail and came towards me. I shot him at 20 yards. I think he's down here. Oh my good God. And I'm gonna go down and get him. I'm sure he's right here. Oh, guys, I tell you, it's like a kilometer back to the truck. And I got coyotes howling all around here before I left the stand. So I rushed back to the truck, switched my gear out, got my recovery bag, made some phone calls. Now I'm back in here, got my proper camera light. This is all self-filming, so I'm gonna do a self-filmed recovery as well. I'm here at the impact site. I did see my arrow on the way out of here to get my stuff. And it's stuck in the dirt here about 6 inches, and it was obviously complete pass through, and it's looking pretty good. And I know he's just over here, guys. I cannot believe it. Let's check this arrow out. Got my Black Eagle Rampage arrow here. This thing is just covered. Wow. He's just over here, guys. I know it. Wow. Can't believe it. Oh, there he is, guys. Big deer. Oh, here he is. Wow, what a cool buck. What a stud. The shot looks a little back here because of the way he stretched out, but I'm pretty sure it's both lungs. Actually, he was a little bit past me, so he's a little bit quartered away. So I went in and actually blew through his opposite side shoulder. So double lung for sure. He didn't run 60 yards from where I shot him, and he actually ended up only probably 30 yards away from the tree stand. What a beautiful Central Alberta buck. Oh, wow. Well, it was a long pack out last night. We dragged this deer over a kilometer back to the truck off of public land, but it was obviously well worth it. Luckily, my brother-in-law and my nephew were able to come help me, but here he is. This is Junkyard. He was my #1 hit list buck. He showed up a couple weeks before the season, and I recognized him right away because I have his shed from 2014. And you know, he got bumped right up to #1, and I started chasing him right away here. And luckily I was able to connect last night. 20-yard shot right in front of me. Good light. Man, just an awesome Central Alberta buck. All kinds of character. Split brows here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7x8. You know, I don't really care how he scores. I know he's a mature animal. That's what matters to me. And he's just a beautiful buck. I'd really like to know his age for sure, so we're gonna send the lower jaw in to get a cross section of the front teeth there, try and figure out and pinpoint exactly how old this deer is. But I'm so proud of this deer. It all came together, and now I'm all done for whitetails here in Alberta, and I've got an antlered moose draw. I've got 11 days off work next week, and it's time to start chasing moose.